Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today I'm gonna react to Swishout. The Warriors are seriously doing it again. So obviously he gonna be talking about the fucking new death lineup that they got. But let's get into fucking reaction, bro. The Warriors, are like
the Golden State Warriors
going crazy right
are
now.
Somehow doing this thing again. Before the season started, I picked the Warriors to get to the finals.
Bro,
last Sunday,
the emergence of Poole
is
crazy.
Of Phoenix rolling, I stuck with that pick. Now, Stephen Curry got hurt against Boston and missed the last 12 games of the year.
Yeah.
Not too long before that, Draymond destroyed his second Defensive Player of the Year case, and he missed 31 consecutive games, pretty much the minute Klay got back. And as we all know, Klay, he missed the first 38 games of the year. So this big three, they legitimately played musical chairs throughout the season.
Facts.
In fact, do you know that this magical big three, they only played a total of 11 minutes together this regular season? That's not even a full quarter. With me not ever liking my championship pick to limp into the playoffs, I said in my last video that I'm putting a lot of faith into the evolution of Jordan Poole.
Bro, Jordan Poole doing shit.
And so far, with the commanding 3-0 lead, more points than the original Jordan in his first 3 playoff games, and a higher 3-point rate and amount than the master himself, it's safe to say that Jordan, he might have heard me. And speaking of you hearing me with the best possible quality, let me shout out today's video sponsor, Raycon.
Sorry, bro. I ain't getting paid, bro. Nigga, Raycon.
When you use my... for the chip.
This pick, Jordan Poole, by the Warriors, maybe the worst pick in the draft so
Jesus Christ.
Nothing against Jordan Poole. No offense, dude. I think the guy could be a rotation NBA player someday. But if you're going to get a guy who can come in and make shots, you're picking a sophomore. You're picking a guy...
Hey, fire this dude right now, bro. It's a pool party now. Fire this nigga. Fire him. It's a pool party.
As an undrafted free agent. So this is such an overdraft. Like, when we talk about that Cam Johnson pick at number 11 being an overdraft, this is much more of an overdraft.
Hey, Cam Johnson looked good.
Because you're picking in the low 20s, you're not picking in the lottery. But this is an absolutely inexplicable pick by the Warriors.
Gee.
Going on 2 years ago,
which the Lakers got him.
Video titled, "If you ever hated the Warriors, you never understood this." This video was pretty much a breakdown as to why you should actually appreciate the Warriors' run rather than hating it, because it was actually constructed beautifully.
I like the Warriors
run.
run.
I don't know if it can ever be duplicated again. Sure, you don't have to like how everything came together and what it momentarily did to our sport. Trust me, I didn't either. But one thing you literally can't discount is the strategic homegrown method they used to get where they ultimately winded up.
Hey, I like
it. Getting KD, I could never call Golden State a super team because typically when I think of that word, it's associated with a player-created team through free agency or trades, a la the Big Three in Miami, the Big Three in Boston, the Big Three in Brooklyn in 2021. Those teams actually had one guy or less actually drafted to that team. Golden State drafted all 3 All-Stars, so that, like I said, that's homegrown. Golden State was obviously a lot more commendable and respected because everything was rooted from their draft savviness, a strong defensive foundation led by Mark Jackson, and a masterful development group within their personal system. Now insert the newest example of this very same point, Jordan Poole.
Bro, the bounce back is strong for the Warriors, bro.
In a long time, and most of it stems from how he was actually incorporated in this system. I don't know what exactly it is about injuries actually being a long-term blessing for this team. I've never seen it like this quite before. But whatever it is, they have it. This has been a common theme.
Bro, the Warriors got the sauce, bro.
Bro,
they got the sauce. Little salt bay on that shit.
Injuries, damn near forcing him
Jesus
to
Christ.
Ultimately freeing up some much-needed space to grab those essential championship pieces long-term. And now, one of your best players actually getting hurt in the finals, leading to you having to pay said player $68 million to rehab while you develop his duo's prodigy in the process. You can't make this stuff up. Obviously, we couldn't understand at the time, but Klay Thompson getting injured was probably the best thing possible for the Warriors' future long-term. This allowed them to damn near tank the following season, with Steph also breaking his hand playing only 5 games. get a good pick as a result of that.
Yeah, other people minutes.
Gives them much leverage.
Yeah,
Trade a bad fit for an expensive yet much better one, and in the process, develop a bit of depth while your vets rest and you develop your young core. Jordan Poole literally had the perfect start to his career during this journey, essentially making every year a stepping stone into a future of helping his team become whole again, which we're seeing right now. The first year, much without Steph and the system, and actually allowing him to develop his raw talents and get a good feel for the NBA as a whole. The second one, a development year with Steph, actually having an MVP campaign and learning how to play within that system. And now this year, actually having to apply what he's learned from Steph and damn near emulate him at times. First of all, look at his homegrown progression through the years. Like, it's a crime that this man wasn't a top 3 candidate for most improved players. I don't even understand that system.
Jordan Poole got snubbed.
I know Warriors fans may know this, but a lot of people probably don't. He had a 17-game stretch in which he scored 20 points in every game. And look at his splits during that process. A lot of that came when Stephen Curry got hurt. Also, another reason why his progression was so imperative, in my opinion, is it allowed Clay a little bit of leverage to truly work through that injury. Warriors fans know, especially after Draymond and Steph got hurt, it was ugly for Clay at times. And as he struggled, we were watching the evolution of Jordan Poole. Now, through the patience, Klay Thompson, towards the end of the year, worked back into becoming who he once was. Steph can work his way back into the lineup strategically and still kind of nurse that injury. And it seems like you have what looks to be an emerging star with Jordan Poole. Also, the growth of Jordan during this Big Three musical chairs movement, it allowed Golden State to discover the newest version of what we like to call the death lineup. This was originally established in 2015 when a 28-year-old assistant gave Steve Kerr the advice to actually start Iguodala in the finals against the Cavs. This small ball lineup was extremely unorthodox and possibly dangerous against certain teams, but for a team specifically like Golden State, the positives just significantly outweighed the cons. This allowed Golden State the spacing they need to truly maximize that lethal backcourt they had, and ultimately it forced opposing coaches to make mid-game, mid-series lineup adjustments as Golden State just shot teams out the gym. As we all should know, that small ball depth lineup thing will become even more unguardable.
That shit became supercharged, nigga, when KD went there.
So far, it's the deadliest lineup in the playoffs, and it's going to be extremely tough to stop going forward. Steph, Clay, and Poole are all averaging 76 points a night on some ridiculous splits. By far the most lethal Big Three in the playoffs so far. And the most important part of all of this, making really this whole thing come together, Draymond Green. The main reason
QB himself
is even able to run a lineup
and
like
defensive
this
anchor
isn't just because they have a bunch of shooters, bro. It's because they have the most versatile defender of our generation. That's also a point guard / quarterback for that team.
He's spitting.
Jokic clearly had a great game 3, and to me, that's why that game was a lot closer.
Dropped like 37.
But look at what Jokic averaged in the first 2 games of that series. You may be saying that's still great numbers, but when Golden State's main deficiency is their size disadvantage, especially with a dominant big like Jokic, and you're not allowing him to exploit your disadvantage in an abnormal, heroic type of way, then you're doing your job excellently, especially when you're giving up like 7-8 inches. Again,
facts.
Also in game 3 in Denver, even though Jokic had a great game, he had a massive turnover in the 4th quarter. That turnover came from the hands of who? Draymond Green. Look at how he was guarding Jokic for the first 2 games of the series to actually set the tone. Again, that's defensive versatility at the highest level. Also, on the other side, where he doesn't get much credit for because he doesn't have the deepest offensive scoring bag. But if you look at the Warriors' early playoff success offensively, Draymond's fingerprints are all over it. If you look at assists per game, these playoffs, Draymond's 5th. But if you look at his usage rate during that process, his is extremely low in comparison to everyone else. That's literally him making the right plays damn near every time he's on the court. Also, his turnovers are extremely low, so you know he's making the right plays. Also, if you look at a common occurrence within the Warriors' dominance, is they typically lead the league in one normal category: team assist. Look at what they're doing in these playoffs. Most of that, again, is from Draymond Green. In these playoffs, and I know it's an extremely small sample size, bruh, but I still want y'all to get this point. In these playoffs, he's second in average passes made per game, and he's only second to the most quarterback offense ran through person in this world, Jokic. So that just shows you how much he's keeping the ball moving.
Hey, Siakam third.
The offense afloat. Also, if you look at assist points created, he's third to two of the best playmakers this league has to offer. So he's doing it in an extremely unorthodox fashion, but just as effective. Having like the most unorthodox weapon maybe this league has ever seen, it's a massive advantage, and he's proven he's literally the glue to this core. If you guys like this video, make sure you like this video. I have to say, we looking good. And I'm going to say we, because I did pick this team to get to the finals before the season even started. So I'm not bandwagon during the season, mid-season playoffs. I did pick them, so I have the right to say we. I'm not a Warriors fan, but I'm supporting them because I want to be right, bro. I want to be right.
Okay.
If you like this video, make sure you like this video. Follow me.
Well, another great video from Swishout, bro. Another excellent breakdown. The Warriors is on a fucking roll right now, bro. They might end up sweeping the fucking Nuggets. We don't know, but it's looking like it. But, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Just anything else from Interactive, you know, down below in the comments. But check out and next one.